Good morning, Erickson students and staff, and welcome to Erickson Live. I'm Margo.
And I'm Trisha.
Reporting to you live from the News Center. Students and staff, would you please stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Today's weather is going to be clear with a high of 51 and a low of 31. Did you know that on October 22nd, the 5th graders have a field trip to Schoolcraft College?
Cool.
In the sporting world, the Pistons beat the Nets 103-100. They will play this Saturday at 8 o'clock. And the Detroit Pistons play at 7 o'clock tonight. Today, let's practice habit number 3. A way you can do this is do your work and then play with friends. Sometimes we get a little distracted during work, but try not to do it today. Today is National Pasta Day. Cool. Here's a joke for you. All right. Why did the man get fired from his job at the coin factory?
I don't know. Why did he get fired?
Because he wasn't making sense.
Oh my God.
Today we have a couple special guests. First, we'll pass it on to Mr. Learned.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday to you. And I love the fact that we're focusing on habit 3 today, which is putting first things first. Be proactive is 1. Begin with the end in mind is 2. And then you put first things first. So working first, then play. So one of the ways that we're going to practice this today actually matches something I need to tell you about. We're going to have some visitors today. We will have some visitors that will be dressed up in suits and nice dresses and things like that because they work at the board office. So that is the big building in the middle of our district that kind of makes decisions about what all schools will be doing. And they always come to just kind of see all the great learning that you're doing. So putting first things first, why this matters is that when you see visitors come into your room, please make sure that you're continuing to learn. The last thing anybody wants, last thing I want, the last thing your teacher wants, the last thing our visitors want is for them coming in and disrupting what you're learning. Your learning comes first. So put that first. You may notice that people might come up and ask you, so what are you learning? That's a great question because when you are in the middle of a lesson or you're finishing a lesson, it's always good to think about, what am I learning? Let me stay connected to what it is that I'm learning. And then also, why are you learning it? So for example, you might be practicing some new words, finding new words in your reading. And so if somebody comes up and asks you, so what are you learning? I'm learning about new words that I come across in my reading. Well, why are you learning it? So I can be a better reader. Those are great things to think about, not only when we have visitors, but every time that you're learning. What are you learning and why are you learning it? The last thing is, this just occurred to me because I'm looking around Mr. Marduce's room. That's where the news center is located. And I'm looking at his board and it says, what will people say about you after they have met you? You meet people all the time. You are with people all the time. You want to make sure that how you interact with people gives them a message. We communicate things all the time, not only in the words we say, but how we say them, how quickly, how loudly, how quietly, what our face looks like, what our body's looking like. We communicate things all the time. What do you want people to say about you after they've met you is a great question to consider. So talking a lot about the leader in me, talking a lot about the 7 habits. Let's make sure we're putting first things first today. Thanks, and back to our news crew.
We also have another special guest today to talk to you about the hurricanes. We'll pass it on to them.
Good morning. I'm Ella.
And I'm Joey, and we're from Miss O'Hara's class.
Don't forget, this week we are collecting money to help out our friends at White Oak Elementary in North Carolina.
There are many kids just like us who lost everything in Hurricane Forest. Let's do a little here to make a big difference here.
Even if you just have a few pennies, every little bit helps. By working as a team, we can make a big impact.
The highest earning class will win pizza.
The second highest earning class will win delicious homemade cookies.
The winners will be announced on Monday, October 22nd.
So far, in the lead, Miss O'Hara's class has already collected $57.64. Miss Gillikin's class, who has already collected $39.66.
Keep up the good work, guys. And remember, it's not too late to catch up. The pizza and cookies could still be anyone's.
That's what's going on in Erickson, and that's why we say, learning and leading, it's the Erickson way.